You're watching Here to Stay TV, brought to you by BridgeStreet.com. I'm with Andrew Sangster, the Editorial Director of Hotelanalyst, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about that sharing economy. It is all people want to talk about. Where are we right now with it?
Yeah, it's really interesting, actually. In terms of the impact of it, it's too soon to tell. We don't really know. Now, what you've got to look at is the amount of money going into it. So if you look at the valuation of Airbnb, its latest funding round back in September, $30 billion US. Well, that puts it at a price level which only Marriott can compete with. I mean, Marriott's market cap is something like $34 billion US. Airbnb dwarfs all the other hoteliers. So that says where a lot of serious money is betting what's going to be happening and developing in our industry.
That makes a lot of sense, but not necessarily tethered to reality, right? Wall Street has a way of propping up companies, but there is something to be said about this. And I'm thinking that we probably need to think a little bit more than just hotels right now and focus on some of these alternative accommodations in the way that we have conversations within our business.
Sure. I think one of the big things in terms of the sharing economy is about how consumers are changing and how they're thinking about what they're doing when they're traveling. So whereas before it was fairly rigid, it was within a silo. Okay, I'm going abroad, I need to book a hotel, and that's it. Now they're thinking a bit bigger picture. They're thinking, well, actually, some of this stuff, they're feeling more comfortable with it. So why don't we book an apartment? Why don't we book a serviced apartment? Why don't we book, a homestay if that's what we want? I mean, certainly if you're a law firm, for example, and you're a highly confidential gig, you actually want a self-contained unit rather than be in a hotel where there's a potential for eavesdropping, unless you're Donald Trump, of course, where, doesn't seem to worry him too much. But
yeah, well, I'm not going to be tapping your phones out there watching, but I will say this. It's time for the hospitality industry to stop thinking myopically. Your customers aren't, and neither should you. I'm Glenn Hausman for Here to Stay TV.